is how I'm studying. I'm just looking at basically when I'm looking at one patterns that I'm seeing. So I'm seeing again, like a lot of people are talking about money, right? It's dream outcome of brand deals. So like how to land brand deals, right? The next thing I'm going to look at is, can I find small creators? This is again, this is just what I did. You take this, whatever you want to do. I tried to find small creators, for example, like this guy. And I would try to find outlier videos from small creators. Small creator being anyone less than, ideally, like 50,000 followers. Anyone less than 100,000 followers, still fine. But I was really looking for, like, this is a good sweet spot. And then I would try to find, like, if this guy has 9,000 followers, are there any videos which you could use, like, I have an extension called Sort Feed. You could also use a tool called Eden, which I use a lot. And, you know, either of them work, but it sorts the most popular videos. And let's see here. Brands I've worked with, no. Does this talk about brand deals? No, it's just an ad. Okay, so like this guy wouldn't be a good example. But this is some stuff that I started doing. Is like, can I find content that is wildly outperforming on small creator accounts about this topic of brand deals? And then you can decide what to do from there. Some people will say steal the hooks. Some people will say don't do that or whatever. Like, I think all advice works, whichever direction you want to go and whatever feels more natural to you. But one thing that I do constantly is I see what topics are working. So like, what are people talking about? It's clear that with brand deals, of course, how much money people are making is in demand. And now I just want to find how to get inbounds. Nope. Now I just want to find videos that are really outperforming on people's pages. 3 reasons why you're not getting brand deals. Oh, but this is a paid video. Let's see. How to get brand deals. Well, that's by Gary. 3 methods to get paid with brand deals with no followers. Okay, and now I might actually open this a little bit further and just say like, creator, how to monetize your following. Start that. There's another keyword that I'm looking for. Now I just want to see what videos are out there. How to monetize on social media with less than 10,000 with less than 10K. This guy has 14,000 followers. This didn't really do much. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. How to get paid to exist. But this one did do really well. I don't know if this one. You could decide if you want to use that or not. This is clearly a outperformer. I know it's kind of like a controversial idea, but how to actually make money on Instagram, this guy has a big following. But this is stuff that I would do to try to make better content, me personally. Just seeing what topics are out there. I'm not saying you have to do that, but this is one way to do it when you're thinking about brand deals. Let me just try one more time. Hold on. Creator monetization. And if I'm going on a tangent or off track, let me know. Feel free to pull me back in.
No, it's perfect. Like I find it interesting how you think. Like it's very analytical, and I like how you use the keywords basically to find the topics. It's really smart.
Yeah, I just play around with keyword search and I just try to find small creators that have videos that are vastly outperforming. And then from there, you can decide, again, like, I'm not going to tell you, I don't want to be the guy that tries to endorse this idea of like, stealing whatever. But what I do want to know is like, what are people interested in? And so a lot of times I'll just look at like text hooks. Right, like this one, for example, catches my eyes. How much money do content creators make? That seems interesting to me. This guy has 464,000 followers and only had 762 likes. Didn't really get a lot of attention, so I'm going to probably skip past it. But I do know that...
And what are you looking at, for example, with, like basically, if there's like, if they have a lot of following, and it got a lot of views, then it's not so interesting for you because you say like, okay, the views came from his following, or like how do you decide like what's kind of
I try to find
interesting or not?
I'll just play around with this on Instagram or well, really I have a tool that does this now, but something simple you could do for free is just try to find small creators. Like this even fits in the small creator bucket, less than 100,000 followers. The reason why I try to find small creators is because I know that the video does the heavy lifting. If it's a big creator, I know that they have a ton of followers. I can't really tell if the video is the one that did well or not. And so this is just kind of how I will go through this. I made 250,000 in 1 year as a content creator. Like this guy has 366,000 followers. It has 945 likes. It doesn't really seem like it got a lot of traction. And so, okay, here we go. Here we go. Now we're talking. How much I charge for brand deals. So again, I mean, this one took a little bit more time than usual. But still, this was, I mean, you and I have probably been going through this exercise for maybe 10, 15 minutes. And now immediately I'm like, okay, I'm not going to look at anything that she says here. I'm not going to look at any of the script or whatever. But I can tell immediately, like, okay, she has 27,000 followers. This post has 2,500 likes. And this was from July 27th. Those are the three things I'm looking at. It's like, if I go, I can't actually see the views on a carousel post, but she has definitely smaller than 100,000 followers. And I want to see, is this post, does this post have a lot of views or a lot of likes or a lot of engagement? And when I say a lot, like I typically want to see videos that have like 5 times more views than the person's following. Because this carousel has 2,500 likes, I'd imagine this carousel probably got close to 100,000 views, which is about 3 to 5-ish times more than her followers, just based on that assumption. So I'm like, okay, immediately, cool. I could take this and make a video on this. Instead of how much I charge for brand deals, maybe make a video on like how much you should charge for brand deals at each follower count, something like that. Or
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I even created like a free calculator for it. Like
There you go.
that is all this kind of stuff. And I created a couple of videos, but they got so little traction. But I think I have to work on my hook then, or because I created like 3 or 4 videos for exactly that, to promote the to promote the calculator as a lead magnet. But so far they're kind of flopping.
You know what I think would do really well? Well, all right, let me reel back because I don't want to give you any false promises here. There's too many gurus that like promise a ton of stuff. Here's an experiment that I would try. So I'm going to put this in my experiment category that I think could help you get traction on the lead magnet. I'm not going to promise you that it's going to get whatever hundreds of thousands of views, but I like this topic. How much I charge for brand deals. You could do something like this. I don't know if you've ever seen this format before.
You can check out the calculator. It's on marcusengel.nl if you want. Like you have to type it in on.
Right here.
I think it's not in the stand story yet. Just type it in the URL. It's marcusengel.nl.
.nl.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay. Okay, fantastic. So check this out. This is an experiment that I would try. Okay. Just as like one idea. Again, I've given you like several questions that I have that I'd love to see videos on. But one thing that you could try is 10 out of 10 ways, or 10 out of 10 rates to charge brands, but the follower size gets larger. Something like that, but we probably need to work on that a little bit further.
I've seen this coming back. It's like, and the tips get more niche, I think, right?
Exactly.
They do right now a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then you could try that format. Like I've done that format quite a bit. If you just type in like 10 out of 10 ways. So now like, all right, I don't know what it is. 10 out of 10 habits, I think is what it is. Yeah, 10 out of 10 ways to complete, niche version. You could try something like this just as an experiment. Again, I'm not promising anything because the way I worded it here, you might want to change the wording to be simpler than this. But I would love to see a video on like, okay, how much, basically, I want to know how much should I charge brands at each follower size, basically. That's the basic idea. So you could make another video. How much you should charge brands at each follower size, basically. That's the basic idea. You could try it in this format, since this one is timely. You know, it's something that people understand. And then you could promote the lead magnet at the end for both. That could be a cool experiment to try. But again, I'm just giving you an idea here. I don't even know if this.
Yeah, I love that.
I don't even know if this sentence makes sense, and so you might want to.
Yeah, play around with the hook a
You
little
might
bit.
want to simplify that even further somehow, where like a general audience can understand it. But the basic question is this: how much should you charge brands at each follower size? And one person that I saw who made a video similar to this is like, how much should you charge for brand deals? She had like some formula that she gave in the video, and then she had like a lead magnet. You could do something similar. I think it was this right here. How to set your rates. That's probably better. That's probably better.
How to set your rates. Nice.
How to set your rates on Instagram. Right? Something like that. Again, I'm just literally just giving you some ideas here. I don't know if... Yeah, and then she has a formula. The formula I use is AIL times whatever. I don't know what any of this means, but then she has... no, she doesn't. But like you could do something like this, give a formula or however you do it, explain your calculator, and then have a call to action saying, if you comment the word sponsor, I'll send over my brand deal calculator or something like that. You know?
Yep.
But you could play around with some of these. This is... All I'm doing here is just seeing like what are people resonating with on the internet, and then how can we incorporate that into some of the questions you already have. Last thing, when you're talking about formats, and then I'll be done here. By the way, like, do you have any further questions? Am I monologuing too much here, Marcus? Am I making?
No, it's super interesting. I love that, because the problem is that when you are inside, then those kind of basic things you think, you know, there's so much AI, people can actually find it out themselves quite quickly, but I like how basic it is. And I think I'm talking like already way too complicated about the topic, while people just want to know, hey, how much can I earn, and
totally.
how do I do it?
I think that's a great experiment too, is like just dumb down your language, especially like if you have videos that have performed well in the past. Can you simplify it further?
Yeah.
This is a really cool concept, by the way. That's awesome that you are seeing some results there. But
yeah, and this is basically going to be the hook of the creator breakdown. So I have like 12 phases, and then I turn it, and then the one that stops, I break down basically.
I think that's a good idea. There's also one thing that you could do is just like, this is why I like the green screen so much. Just whenever I'm struggling to do like talking head yapping stuff, like if it's not performing, I'll do green screens. You could do the Foursquare format like this, and just have creators in the background that people recognize. You know, have Jesse Jean and blah, 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 blah. And then the text hook says like, how much do these creators make from brand deals? You know, whatever. Or you could just have one, let me see if I have an example of you could just have one creator here or something in the background. I really like this Foursquare format. It seems to work well on my page.
Yeah.
This is up to you to just experiment. Yeah, like right here. This is me. I just have a creator in the background and then green screen. I would say that would be a good experiment to try for your creator breakdowns, because it's so easy to produce, and ideally it'll keep people longer, just because people are looking at the creator. Like my goal was within the first second people are looking at iShowSpeed, they're going to stick around. So for your creator breakdowns, you might want to try something similar, because even if you have a wheel, again, I'm just giving this as an idea or a suggestion. Even if you have a wheel with creators' names on it, whenever I experiment with it on my page, I find that people will stick around primarily because of like the image of the creator. It's a face. It's a face on it. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I mean, do a face on it, or I would definitely try the green screen with the first second of the video being of a popular creator, And let's see, like, if we could just find someone that does something similar. Creator breakdown.
Yeah, no, but that's a good idea.
Let's see. Like, if I just type in creator breakdown. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, you could try a React format if you wanted. I find that the green screens are just the simplest for me. Like, no doubt about it. Yeah, like, this is a 4-square format about Jun Yu. And this one says, exposing Jun Yu, the truth behind the cracked phone and multi-million-dollar empire. This is another way for you to figure out ideas, too. Because this guy, let's see, he has 6,000 followers. This video got 11,000 likes, and this was in June. This is clearly a video that people resonate with. And so you could do something similar, exposing X person, or it's up to you if you want to use this word. I know this word is pretty bold.
Loaded.
yeah, of course. But like, this could be a video to take notes on, so I'll add it here. Study this for creator breakdowns. Because again, I mean, this is a recent video let's see how many views this video got. If it has 11,000 likes, it's definitely over 100,000 views. And this guy has 6,000 followers. Where's his Jun Yu video? Might be. Oh, here we go. It's got 283,000 views. This guy has 6,000 followers. And he's doing this 4-square format with this creator in the background. And then he did it. Let's see. Like, this guy actually, yeah, and he does it again. 7,000 views. Cool. Then he does it. Does he do it again? Does it again. 95,000 views. This guy would probably be one to take inspiration from. And it's good. What's good about this is that he's not talking about brand deals. So you could really, like, take a look at how he's structuring his videos, take some inspiration for the visuals, and then make it totally different by talking about brand deals, you know? But this guy, I mean, look at this guy's ripping it, dude. He's 35,000, and he has 6,000 followers. So
yeah, so he probably got the most followers in the last 2 weeks or something.
Yeah, just from these videos. So I would use him as maybe inspiration. But yeah, man, hopefully I've given you some ideas here for videos. Your formats,
100%, a lot.
Formats I would suggest, just from my end, I would suggest would be start off with the easiest ones for me personally. Start off with green screen. Start off with, you could even do like voiceover, and even try B-roll just to see if people, B-roll, you're not gonna, I'll tell you right now, I'm pretty sure about this. I mean, again, I'm not an expert, but like, it's very, very rare that I've had a B-roll reel that's got a lot of views, gain me a lot of followers, because you're just not building trust. But what B-roll reels are good for in my instance is to test the message. If I'm saying like, for example, like these questions, if you really wanted to, again, I treat content as an experiment. That's up to you if you want to do it. I think you have trial reels now, so you could actually experiment with these. You could literally just take these questions that I asked you and make like simple B-roll reels, test them in trial reels. And if they do well, then you know, okay, I'm gonna make a talking video about them. This is what I call my, I actually, I'm not even gonna put a name on it because I don't want people to think like I'm trying to sell something. I don't want people to think I'm trying to.
The Sean Stewart method.
I was gonna say this is what I call my threads method, but I don't want people to think like I'm trying to sell a strategy that like this is what works. But this is what I use threads for. I use threads. I ask like literally questions that I was asking you. Like I just asked to threads, and for example, like this thread got 5 comments. Okay, really not too much engagement. All right, I'll disregard. Not really too much engagement, but then the other day I asked a question, and where was it? I still need to make a video on this. I'm kind of slacking on it, but if I scroll down far enough, I asked, damn, dude, how far was it? Unless, hold on. Sorry, I might have skipped it. Or maybe I can do Control F. Luck. No? Alright. Let me see if I can find it quickly. If not, just disregard. But I asked a question the other day and I said, is becoming famous on social media luck or skill? And it had hundreds of people that interacted with it. So immediately, I don't know where it is, man. But immediately I realized, like, okay, I can take this and make this into a talking video since people really resonate with this. Since people resonate with this idea. Yeah, like this one got 32 comments, 21 likes. This one's probably good for me to make a video on. Just this question, I could use it as a hook on my video. I'm not saying you need to use threads, by the way. You can do this with B-roll reels, with trial reels if you wanted to. But this is an experiment.
Yeah, no, but it's a clever way to test.
Right here, this is the one.
Test something.
This one got 114 comments, 69 likes, and mind you, my average thread gets like 0 engagement. So when this one got hundreds of people, I'm like, okay, I can use this as the hook for my next video and then make a whole video about this. So that's how I test engagement on this platform. You don't have to use threads for that. You could take these questions, have simple captions or something, and test B-roll reels and trial reels. If they do well, then you know, okay, now I'm going to make those into talking stuff. That's if you really want to get like strategic. I'm not saying you need to do any of this if you don't want to. I'm just giving you some ideas to ponder.
No, 100%. Like, I mean, it was really valuable. Really nice to, because yeah, as I said, like sometimes you just think way too complicated about it. But in the end, yeah, people want to create content and they want to get paid. How do you do that?
Yeah,
if you break it down to that.
If there's one thing that I think will benefit you the most from this discussion is just, I think you will find better results by dumbing down your language. That has always been the case for me. So yeah, I'll just leave you with that. I won't promise anything else from these experiments to try, but that.
Otherwise, I will find you. You know, I have you on Instagram. Like, I hold you accountable.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. Cool. So here's some
perfect.
questions.
Thanks so much.